What if I told you that your overly sensitive nature isn't a curse, but a hidden superpower just waiting to be discovered? We live in a world that seems to reward toughness, speed, and a certain indifference. Maybe you've been told that you're too emotional, that you take things too seriously, or that you should put on some armor. But there's a deeper truth, something many fail to grasp. Sensitivity isn't a weakness at all. Rather, it's an extraordinary lens that allows you to see the world with a clarity and depth others can't even imagine. And in this video, we'll explore how this unique trait of yours can be the key to a richer and more meaningful life, learning to transform every apparent obstacle into a real strength. Get ready to see sensitivity in a whole new light. Imagine having heightened senses, like a superhero. Sensitivity works a bit like this. Sensitive people don't just look, they see. They don't just listen, they perceive every nuance in the tone of voice, every hesitation, every emotion hidden behind the words. This means you capture details that others completely miss. A slight change in light, a barely perceptible scent, the subtle shift in a person's mood in a crowded room. Your mind is like a sponge, absorbing information not only from facts, but also from the atmosphere, the energy that surrounds you. This ability to process information at such a deep level is not just a different way of living, it's a cognitive and emotional superpower. It's what allows you to capture unspoken emotions, to sense someone's pain or joy without them having to utter a word. It's the reason why you often know when something is wrong, even when everything seems fine. It makes you a deep thinker, often more inclined to reflect on the meaning of life, on human relationships, on the injustices of the world. Don't settle for superficial answers. Always seek the hidden truth. This profound insight enriches your every experience, making your life incredibly vivid, intense, and meaningful. Every moment, every encounter is an opportunity for deeper understanding. However, being an emotional sponge in a world that is often loud, fast-paced, and let's face it, sometimes a little insensitive, can be tiring. Very tiring. Imagine walking down a busy street with horns honking, people talking loudly, bright lights, and the smells of smog and food. For the average person, it's just the city. For a sensitive person, it can be a wave of stimuli that overwhelms the senses, as if all the volumes were turned up and the lights were dazzling. It's not just the physical noise, it's also the emotional noise. You absorb other people's stress and frustration. You feel the collective anxiety, and this can lead to a real sensory and emotional overload. This overload isn't just annoying, it can be debilitating. You feel empty, exhausted, with a strange burning sensation inside. Social interactions, which for others are simple exchanges, for you can become minefields of emotions and unspoken expectations. Maybe you retreat, avoiding large crowds or parties, because you know the emotional toll will be too high. And then there's the sense of inadequacy. In a world that seems to reward the stronger, more forthright, less sentimental, you might feel wrong, too weak, too different. This perception can undermine your self-esteem, making you believe that you should be different than you are, that your sensitivity is a flaw to be hidden, rather than a valuable trait to be cultivated. And this is where the internal conflict arises. How does one survive with such an open heart in a world that sometimes seems to want to trample on it? The good news is that you are not alone, and there are effective ways to navigate this world without turning off your inner light. The first thing is to learn to protect yourself, a bit like an emotional immune system. This doesn't mean building walls, but rather establishing healthy boundaries. Learn to say no when you feel your energy is at its limit, even if it seems difficult. You're not responsible for the whole world. Create a protective bubble around you, a sacred area of time and space that's just yours, and where you can recharge. This could be a quiet corner of the house, a walk in nature, or an absorbing hobby. Then, there's the magic of self-awareness. Learn to recognize your triggers, those situations, people, or stimuli that push you into overdrive. Knowing your limits is the first step to respecting them. An incredibly useful practice is mindfulness. It's simply bringing your attention to the present moment without judgment. A few minutes of mindful breathing a day can do wonders for calming the nervous system and grounding you like a tree sinking its roots into the ground. This helps you not to be overwhelmed by emotions, but to observe them from a certain distance, letting them pass without them defining you. Remember, resilience isn't about never falling, but learning to get up again every time, stronger and more aware than before. These strategies won't make you less sensitive, but they will give you the tools to manage your sensitivity so you can make the most of it without burning yourself out. Now, let's get to the exciting part: how to turn all of this into a real superpower. Sensitivity, when well managed, is an incredible catalyst for empathy. It's the ability to walk in someone else's shoes, to feel their pain or joy so deeply that it creates authentic and meaningful connections. It's this empathy that makes you great friends, understanding partners, and compassionate leaders. It's what allows you to see solutions where others only see problems, because you're able to understand different perspectives. And let's not forget creativity. Many artists, writers, musicians, and innovators are highly sensitive people. Their ability to perceive the world with such intensity translates into art that touches the deepest chords of the soul. They see beauty where others see the ordinary, find inspiration in the little things, and transform their intense emotional experiences into something tangible and shareable. Think of a doctor who, in addition to healing the body, can comfort the patient's soul thanks to his deep emotional understanding, or an activist who, driven by an intense sensitivity to injustice, tirelessly fights for a better world. Sensitivity is their driving force, the fuel that pushes them to make a difference. It's not a weakness to be hidden, but a gift to be celebrated and used to enrich your life and the lives of those around you. Your sensitivity is a precious resource, a beacon that illuminates the path to a more conscious and compassionate future. How do you use your sensitivity to make the world a better place? Share your story in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos on mindfulness and personal growth.